this is a really historical moment for us. So thank you for so many people for coming from all over the world. I think today we have now up to about 300 people who've registered for the event. Rio!
As I said in the New Vrindavan one, our mission in New Vrindavan was to find a mission statement. And here I think actually this is much more about just connecting the European communities, because we're very spread apart and there's language barriers, geographical barriers. In America there's a history of 20 years of reunions, whereas here I know they have the Italian one, sometimes the Swedish one, but nothing that really says this is Europe. And because we're such small communities, we need to come together in a large group to feel that weight, that mass. There's a lot of us actually, and we can do a lot of things.
It's hard to explain. It's a really great feeling being surrounded by you, by the Hare Krishnas, and like wake up with bhajams and go to sleep with bhajams. And yesterday we had our own nightclub scene and it was so much fun. It's just everything is really awesome, really, you can't explain because everything is spiritual. It's another level.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
I think that by having these Kulimelas, we're stepping up and showing what we can do, that we are organized, that we can provide a lot to to ourselves and also to the world. I think the next step is how to reach out to the world in our preaching, and just our being unified and getting together inspires other people. They see the power and the happiness that we all have, and they want to experience that too. So.
I think coolies are really anarchic, and our energy is very flat organization. You know, who's the boss here? I'm not the boss.
Most of them are hidden leaders, so they're not obvious leaders, but they are still leaders in their community, in their community of coolies.
Some of them are. I don't know.
Little gurus?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
That's the question.
I may come back to us as a replacement.
Okay. We don't want to take the opportunity from service. Not from other people.
Okay, you'll start.
I think that's for each individual child to say what it was for them, but I loved being an ashram teacher. I feel we didn't train our teachers properly, and maybe there wasn't enough support, and maybe there was little misunderstandings, but I think what Prabhupada wanted, if it was done properly, I still think it could be a very successful school, a Gurukul.
Well, definitely young people are the future, and I suppose in some ways the problem is the idea of Gurukul versus another type of education, that it has to be really one or the other. I'm certainly not an educational expert in terms of teaching children, but I definitely know that my experience of really getting out to see the world rather than it being hidden from us as children, that was really beneficial.
It's not easy, no. I think, spirituality is, spiritual development is obviously what, it's the most difficult thing that we're all trying to do and search for, and we're all struggling for. But I think, working in business and your material life is part of that process. It's part of going to work, doing your duty, but at the same time learning how to be focused in your belief and having faith.
Be successful materially. I believe that if you're materially successful, you can just support more your spiritual life. It's not one or the other, which has kind of been a way that a lot of us have been raised to think that if you're rich or you have a lot of money, that you're less spiritual. So it's really a balance of that. Just as long as you're putting Krishna in the middle, I believe that that's the best thing to do.
That's a very good question, and that's where the subconscious is coming back in again, because ultimately speaking, we do believe in cause and effect. Rather recite.
No, don't. No.
You do really
But
good.
it's kind of instead of this. I mean, it's not.
Well, I think hopefully, and I mean, and I have a lot of faith. Prabhupada, I remember once sitting in class in Bury Place in 1972, and Prabhupada told us, he said that this movement is going to carry on because it's the desire of Lord Chaitanya. So it's already happening. He said, now, so you can take that chance and be part of it and become part of it. So like for everybody, we have that opportunity because we're spirit souls. We have that free will.
Everything from parenting is by example. Children learn from what they see in their parents. And if we show them a good example of integrating Krishna into our life in a balanced, intelligent way, then they will pick that up and they will live a good life like that and change the world by that, by showing an example to the others. It's already happening to some extent, and it will happen more.
I think so. I think that our children will grow up hopefully more balanced than we grew up even, because they'll have a more balanced society, I think. ISKCON in the early days, in the last so many years, has found it difficult to find that balance, hard because, you know, we're in something that's kind of unique. You know, Srila Prabhupada brought something to the West that's, you know, unique, and he's trying to set up a system, you know, a Varnashram Dharma system and a Vedic system, culture, from zero. Yeah? So you're trying to create something, so it's going to go through different stages, and our parents were the seed of that. Perhaps it was difficult for them also to, let's say, integrate into the outside world and outside community. You know, particularly, for example, just in work. You know, it's very difficult when you give 20 years of your life. As a teenager, you leave school, you join the temple, you dedicate yourself. This is what you know, this is what you do. And then at a certain point, you have a family and you have to work out how to, you know, get a job and, you know, earn a living. But you're 40 years old. And in the employment market, that's very difficult, you know. So, you know, that was the challenge for them. And I think for us, we come in a different stage because we have the hearts, we have their service to build on. But we've grown up more integrated into the, you know, general outside world, into education, into business and so on.
For example, my parents, when they joined, it was like fire, you know, like the movement was really growing and it was like everywhere, there was a lot of devotees. Now it's like there's only rooms left for us, you know. Prabhupada left, like there's so many gurus that just fell down. We have rooms and we have to build it up. We have to do something new, you know, like from ashes.
I was a Gurukul ashram teacher for 10 years and I've been a preschool nursery teacher for 20 years.
First generation of devotee?
Well, I became a devotee when I was 16, so it's about 35 years ago.
The community. Community, because our community is already about this congregational chanting. So as long, you know, if we only kept everyone who became interested in this Hare Krishna movement, we would be huge. But actually we lose too many people, even amongst our youth.
Traveling to all the cities, and we put on performances in theaters, at university auditoriums, in between the festivals, so spreading Krishna consciousness somehow.
Connect with whatever your inspiration, whatever service that you feel connects you the most with Krishna, and go for it.
The coolies at Radhadesh are just amazing, and the coolies all over the world are amazing people. And I think that they should just take over our temples so that when people go and leave the temples, they can just fill them up. They have energy, enthusiasm, strength, purpose, and I'm just so proud. So even if our gurukuls didn't work, otherwise we would have thousands of them, the coolies work. And they're beautiful, amazing people, and we should be proud, and I'm happy to be able to serve them.
All the designers are devotees, all the models are devotees.